All right, I've got 7 o'clock. So with that being said, I'd like to open the October 8th meeting of the Wakefield Conservation Commission. First item is we'll take roll call. And Jimmy, are you there? Oh, actually, now I do see Jimmy muted.
All right, how about now?
Yep, can hear you fine. Thank you.
Can you see me?
Not yet. Peter,
How about now?
yeah, now we got you.
Hey,
Okay.
Jeff. Hi, Pete's here.
Okay. Ken,
Ken's here.
Frank,
I'm here.
Teresa, you there? I don't see Teresa. Oh,
Good name.
there's Teresa.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. All right. All right, we're all here. And first time is I'd like to welcome our newest member, Silvana.
Yes.
Hulal.
Thank you for saying my name right. Hi. Well, you'd be surprised how many people say it wrong.
First.
That's right. Thank you.
I practiced it twice.
Did you? No? So, you did well.
So welcome to your first meeting of the Wakefield Conservation Commission.
Welcome is right, Silvana.
Thank you.
Yes, we're happy to have you.
Glad to be part. Glad to be part.
So yes, we are fully staffed as a commission now. And feel free, Silvana, to ask any questions, reach out, raise your hand, or whatever you'd like to do to get our attention.
Okay. I probably will ask quite a bit. Well, I'll try not to, but I'll ask since it's still somewhat Greek, but I've been looking.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. First item is Pop Parkway. Who would like to lead us off, Brian or?
Yep, and I'm mute. I'd be happy to, Mr. Chairman. So may I?
Sure, please.
Thank you very much. For the record, Brian McGrail, Mike Manzo is here again, John Ogren. Just to refresh the commission's memory, in my memory, the last time we met, we spent a lot of time on the Fletcher line and the Hayes line, and I think what we agreed to was that we were going to take a step back, and Mike Manzo was going to look at the property in conjunction with his architect and development team to see if we could live with the Fletcher line. That would save a lot of aggravation for everybody. And if we could, there was discussion that there could be some consideration for relief on the 25-foot no disturb zone, but that would be kind of in coordination with improvements to the wetland between the Fletcher line and the Hayes line in that whole area, and then maybe also in some other areas on the site. If we kind of came to that agreement, we would probably withdraw our application for the resource delineation, and then probably go right to a notice of intent with those elements as part of the submittal. So I think that's where we were, and I think also in case we couldn't do that, I think the commission was going to have Elaine reach out to see to start the process of trying to find a botanist, because if we couldn't do that, the commission's position was that you wanted to hire a botanist to take a look at it fresh if we weren't able to come to that agreement. So we almost contemplated just sending a note to you today to tell you that we're still working on our ability to work with the Fletcher line, and we don't have an answer on that. Mike has been working with some of his development folks, and we just need more time. But we certainly, out of a courtesy to your commission, we figured we should hop on and kind of let you know that that's what's going on. So there's no miscommunication or, kind of like misinterpretation. Gee, why aren't they here, et cetera. So that's where we are. That's what we have to report. Hopefully, Mike, do you think we might have a better idea in the next couple of weeks on your ability to accept that line?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Yes, we've looked at it in a couple of different ways, including getting some relief on the 25-foot setback. And, excuse me, and our architectural firm have been swamped on some other large projects, but we had a good meeting yesterday, actually, and today, looking at alternatives. And I'm pretty confident within the next couple of weeks, we'll have a determination of that, on that.
So would you like us to schedule you for the next meeting?
That would be great, right, Mike?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that would be October 22nd.
Okay.
Put you on for 7.
That'd be super, Mr. Chairman.
And the thing is, as you know, I'm sorry, I'm just jumping in, you know, getting a botanist as it gets into the winter when it'd be less easy to see, you know, what's there would not be good. So,
Yeah, we talked about that, Teresa. I understand that. So, you know,
but we may have an answer by the next meeting, so that's great.
that's our goal. Yeah. Yep. If I could ask you, Mr. Chair, has Elaine started the process of looking for a botanist, or just so we kind of keep that path going? Because as Teresa just mentioned, if in the event we can't, and we say, gee, guys, we gotta take a look. We think the line is different. We're gonna have to go the botanist route. That, you know, just to save time, that somebody would be available and ready to jump right in rather than a couple of weeks from now, having to stop looking for somebody.
Elaine,
Yes.
yeah, do you want
Can
to
you hear me?
comment on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, no
Yes,
problem.
Okay. So I have an estimate from LEC, the field work, $800, a report, an additional $400 for a total of 12.
Great. So somebody's lined up. They're ready to go.
They're ready to go, yeah.
I'm hoping we don't need them. That's our
Okay.
goal. That's our goal. But if we do, that's great, because that way we can get right to it.
And this is someone who we've used before, Elaine?
Yes, I'm familiar with LEC.
Okay,
We've done work with them before and they do a good job. They're in here in Wakefield and I've done work with them in both towns.
I'm contracting them to do work too. They're a good firm.
great.
All right, anything else, or,
No, I think that's what I have. Mike, did you have any?
We're working on it. We'll be back in 2 weeks, if not earlier, but we're working on it.
okay. All right, excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, guys.
Members of the commission. Thank you very much. Enjoy your night.
All right, thank you, you too.
Bye. Bye, Brian.
Bye, Pete.
All right, hey, in my haste to start the meeting, I did forget to approve the minutes. You know, look for a motion to do that from 9:24.
You take roll call?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, you actually popped in right as I was taking it, so yeah, we got you. But anyways, for the minutes for 9:24, anybody have any comments or questions about those minutes? And if not, would somebody like to make a motion to approve them?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Okay, polling all members. Frank,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Jimmy? Yes.
and Savannah will be recusing you from voting on those minutes.
Yes, please.
And I also vote to approve those minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Next item, actually, the only other item we have is old business, new business. That's a 26 Shady Ave update, unless something else has been added. Judy or Elaine, is there anything else besides Shady Ave?
I don't have anything. Nope. But I would like to add something before we open.
Sure.
I got a call from Jonathan Bean at about 5 o'clock this afternoon. He may have mentioned at the last meeting that his father was very ill. So he called me at about 5 this afternoon, and he got a call that his father is not expected to last the night. So he went to the hospital and he asked that this be continued to the next meeting.
Okay. All right. Very sorry to hear that.
Of course.
Can I have a question?
Sure.
What is I read the emails, but what is the back history about this? What is it exactly that he is the argument here? That's the issue. Is he in the wrong, or is it just a neighbor that's really being not neighborly? I mean, I'm just trying to get the background before.
Well, there's a lot to the background. There looks to be some filling that should not have happened.
Not have happened, yeah.
Some grading. Not entirely sure on the amount of fill or exactly when everything occurred. It seems to be this past spring. It's somewhat complicated on the site. There is a stream in the back. There are wetlands in the perimeter. There has been some clearing of trees. We do have some photos. We do have some documentation. But like I said, it is a complicated situation, I guess. Best way to describe it right now.
Okay. And he never approached the conservation that he was doing this? He just took it up on himself?
He did not come to us, but we were informed. Elaine, when were we told about this?
We were told about this last winter. And I remember going out there because we had been informed by the Department of Environmental Protection. The next door neighbor had called the DEP. So I remember going out there with DEP in February, and the agent said she, on behalf of the DEP, was going to handle it, but that never took place. So we got another call sometime in the summer, wondering what had happened. And at that point, I called DEP. I found out that they had not picked it up and that they were requesting that we pick it up. So we picked it up sometime during the summer, maybe July or so. And we've been working with the property owner. We issued an enforcement order, and we've been working with the property owner to sort out a remedy going forward.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where it stands right now.
Okay.
We have suggested some options to restore some areas, back to as close to original conditions as we believe. And we had contacted the owner and some of the trucking companies that we had information on. So that's what had occurred at the last meeting.
Okay. And somehow whatever that he's done has not gone over now to the neighbor? Is that why this neighbor is emailing concern?
Did you see the latest email that was?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. I read it.
What was the latest email, Jim? Can you summarize it? I'm not sure I did. Who sent it? Did you circulate it?
Yeah. Yeah, it came out today. Judy or Elaine sent it around.
Yeah.
Hang on. So Elaine, did you send it or did Judy send it?
I sent it.
Yeah, this morning she sent it.
Okay, and I can get it now.
It basically goes through the history of what's happened and
Got
why it's come to this.
Gotcha. Yep. And then, all right.
So this is the neighbor who wrote this, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, Silvana, a lot of times we're not out patrolling the streets to see whether people are filling their backyard wetlands. So it's pretty common that most of the things that come to our attention come because of a call from a neighbor.
And this one actually happened to go to the DEP, and then they contacted us as the local authority.
So does this go, I'm just reading this, I'm just curious because what we had, Silvana, what we had is, it was pretty clear that there had been fill where, that fill had been put where it shouldn't have been put. But when and who did it, kind of the details are a little, there's a little he said, she said going on here.
Well, that's what I'm questioning. I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't do the wrong, but at the same time, there's what I've always understood. Three sides to a story, yours, mine, and the truth.
There's no usable backyard. Largely wetlands contain many vernal pools.
None of which are certified.
Countless, 3 or 4 a day.
Frank, did you have a chance to see it, the letter?
No, I didn't know.
All right, Teresa, did you have a chance?
I did. It was very damning. I was very well written, very detailed, and provided a very different story to when Silvana, when John came, you know, obviously his father was sick, but you know, he was portrayed a very different picture, as you might imagine.
Yeah, Ken, did you have a chance to read the letter?
Yeah, I got the
Ken,
same
you've also
thing
been
from
out
it.
to the site also,
Yeah, I got the same from it.
right?
I'd like to add something here, if I may. Jim and I went out there last week.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we went out and did a site visit. And regardless of who said what, as the result of that site visit, we have a good idea of what was filled, where those areas of mulch are. And we have a plan that reflects the conditions in the field, regardless of who said what.
Well, and that's a good starting point, really. The only starting point.
Yeah, it's got to be fixed. And and
All right. Well, I guess we should discuss it when he's here with us, right? So.
Yes. Yes, yeah, in fairness to the
Right.
to the owner.
Okay.
Any other old business, new business, or anything else, Judy
Can I
or
just ask
Elaine?
for
or-
clarification? So Judy is no longer, can you just explain your role now, Judy, and your,
I'm just going to be doing the meetings.
Minute.
Rebecca is going to come back and take over the 10 hours. I'm going to a different department.
can we count on you, Judy? Can we count on you for copious editorial comment during the meetings like you used to give?
Absolutely.
No extra charge, no extra charge, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Judy, what department are you going to? Can you tell us?
Accounting.
Okay. Nice. Excellent. Well, congratulations.
congratulations. We'll miss you, although we'll see you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to be involved with the Environmental Sustainability Committee and doing things like that. So I'll still be
Yeah.
everywhere.
You have a great interest in it and
Yes.
and knowledge, so that's wonderful. And then Rebecca, I do not know. She was there during the 23 years I was not.
Oh, right.
So Judy, I'm going to talk you going up to accounting to, you just couldn't take the excitement.
That's obvious. Yes.
Yes, much more excitement in accounting, I'm sure.
Yes. Yes.
How long has Rebecca been gone? 3 years?
I think more than that.
Has it really?
4 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she was gone before I came back on, so.
Yeah.
Right. But funny enough, Quantum Powered is back. It was there when she was there, and now it's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, it'll be good to see Rebecca, and I'm glad you're still, with us, Judy, not totally out of the picture.
Jimmy tried to get rid of me, but
Judy, does this mean we won't have your lovely talks when you come visit to get signatures? I'll be sad.
I'm sure Rebecca will do that for you.
Okay. I just don't know her, but I look forward to getting to know her.
Yeah, Rebecca was with us for how many years? 10 years?
Something like that.
Yes, yeah, around that.
Right.
So actually, when Elaine left about 20 years ago, there was somebody else, and then that person lasted a few years. Then Rebecca came on and Elaine came back.
Well, Christina
Yes.
Viaga was in there.
That's right.
Yes.
And Christina left, and then both Elaine came back and Rebecca came on. Was that the sequence? I can't remember.
No, Rebecca was on, and then I think she had her first baby. So then she and Elaine started sharing. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, your
Yes,
memory
that
is
was
sharper
right.
than mine. Not saying
Some
much,
days.
but do we have anything else to go over?
One thing I want to say is I started to go on that site walk for rail trail, and I couldn't follow the whole thing. I started getting phone calls and had to leave. But there was like 12 people there. There was Mass Highway there. There was Mass Wildlife. There was someone there that interested in birds, and Linfield was there. There's a bunch of people there, so I don't know what the outcome is.
Where is it, Jim?
The rail trail where they want to go down the railroad track.
No, I understand it. So where is the, sorry.
The end of Foster's Lane.
The end of Foster's Lane by Pam Boulevard at the end of Foster's Lane.
Okay.
It's actually behind. It's actually behind the cemetery. They all went in from behind the cemetery,
Okay.
and it's a pretty dense area. It's just all kinds of. I mean, you can barely see the tracks.
And it goes towards Linfield?
Yeah, it connects off to Linfield.
It actually starts at the junior high school.
Right.
Yeah, for the area that they're talking about, it's basically the Wetlands Crossing.
Okay.
Way I look at it. But it was interesting.
You think it would be nice if they could get going on it now that they had cleared all that brush for the power line. I mean, that's going to all grow back and then have to cut it all down again.
Right, yeah.
They have to get the funding for it first. That's the big obstacle.
Is that okay?
And building some kind of boardwalk or something through Reedy Meadow. Actually, trying to get it through Reedy Meadow is going to be, I think, a problem. I think that's going to be the longest holdup, appeal-wise and things like that.
Well, yeah. Reedy Meadow is an AC and an area of critical environmental concern, so that's tough, right?
It's not an actual designated one.
Oh, it's not?
No.
No,
It was.
no. The only one in Wakefield is the Golden Hills.
Huh.
In Greenwood.
Right. Off of Harrison Ave,
Yep.
Golden
Huh, I
Hills.
thought Reedy Meadow was my mistake.
No, Reedy Meadow is a national natural landmark designated from the Department of Interior. And it's also an important birding area designated by the Mass Audubon. That's why they were part of the sidewalk. And there are a couple of endangered species there, a couple of birds, a reptile, a plant. So it's something that it doesn't seem like as much thought has been given to it as it should, mainly by Linfield. In the couple of discussions I've had with the Linfield agent, she doesn't seem to see that it's such a big hurdle, but I think it's going to be. I mean, the dogs alone, they've done studies on that. Just the presence of dogs changes the birds' patterns. Even if they're not chasing them, as soon as they're there, they won't come back. So that could change some of the species that live there. So it's a bigger issue than, it's not just a matter of building the boardwalk.
There is a really bad flooding area there too, because when we crossed underneath the highway through the tunnel, you could see the water stains, and really, there's probably when it's flooded, it's probably the tracks themselves are probably underwater. So
Probably,
yeah, so there's a lot of water to contend with, and
right.
I mean
That's why it was a cranberry bog.
yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And it had a water-driven sawmill in the 1600s.
Wow.
Yeah. It's got an incredible history, that small area. So I think this was part of the 75% funding that they had to go through. That's what triggered all Natural Heritage and Audubon to come out. But I think they're still a ways away from actually getting closer to the funding. I mean, they've gotten it approved through Linfield because there was a lot of opposition from abutters. But I don't know if there have been lawsuits generated from that. You know, I think it's kind of they still have a long road ahead of them. I don't think it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come down to money. I mean, that's usually what it comes down to. It sounds great in the beginning, and then once.
Yeah. I gotta say, I've been on some rail trails in other towns, and they are amazing. I mean, I know that a rail trail would be, I bet it would be just exceptionally well received if it ever got built. It's funny, you think about the not in my backyard, all the reasons not to do it, and then I just have a feeling it would just be nothing but good for the town.
If they could avoid Reedy Meadow, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but that's.
Right, exactly, right. It just depends on where it is.
Right.
It would just be such a resource, recreational resource. We talk about passive recreation, that would be huge.
But at what cost is when you look at that one area? It's the.
Didn't they talk about putting railroad cars on the tracks and then building on top of the railroad cars?
Yes.
I hated that idea.
Pardon?
I didn't like that idea at all. One
But
ice
they
was,
talk-
And another problem is what to do with the discarded railroad ties and all that stuff, because they used to have a company that would take them, and then they ran into some problems with the way they were discarding them. So now I think they're kind of stuck as to what to do with that.
Yeah. Well, they're in terrible shape.
Right. But they would have, this company would take them and reuse them. So now that's not happening because
Yeah.
they started dumping them in other places in New Hampshire.
Mhm.
So it's another kind of obstacle funding wise.
is the rail still there? The metal rail?
Yeah, the rails are there.
Yeah, all the way through from the beginning to the end, I believe.
Yeah. I didn't go all the way down. I didn't follow everyone, but for the area that I walked, the trail, the rails are there. There's a spur line too that's in the same area. So I think they're not intending to do anything with the spur. It's just the main rail. There's a lot of conservation issues there. There's compensatory storage for whatever system they want to use to support the path. I mean, there's all kinds of issues there, wildlife issues, and it's going to have to really be looked at. And I believe that Judy, isn't part of that land under conservation control in Wakefield?
I don't think the part that they're going to go through is.
Is it all Linfield in that area?
There are, I think, 20 acres that are under the commission that Mass Audubon donated.
Yeah.
That was the first land that conservation actually got deeded to them in Wakefield, was that land.
How many acres, Judy? 120?
20 or 30, it's a good
20.
size.
Okay. Do we know exactly where that is?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember that. All right, we got any other topics or?
No,
The light pollution seminar is all set, October 29th.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
how do you sign up for that, Judy?
It's just going to be a regular meeting, so you'll get a Zoom invite.
Oh, it is a regular meeting? Oh, good.
Yes.
That should be easy. Right.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be well attended. I invited the planning board and the ZBA because they're always, especially the ZBA, is always talking about lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to one of the ZBA members today and just reminded him, I don't know how much interest there is from the boards, but I thought it would be a good idea to invite them.
No, that's great.
And I invited some people that they like environmental issues at different meetings. So
Mhm.
thought it was worth inviting them. See if they were.
No, good idea.
All righty.
I guess
Right.
that's it.
If there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Okay. Ken,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Teresa.
Yes.
Actually, Silvana, you can join a motion to adjourn if you'd like.
I adjourn. Yes.
All right, excellent. Well, welcome, and the meeting is adjourned. We'll see
Yes.
everybody on the 22nd.